everyone. Today we are doing notes on linear equations in point slope form. So it's in the name, we've got point slope. So this time, instead of starting at a y-intercept, we get to start at a point. So let's say we want to start at the point -2, 4, and we know the slope is 3. Okay, so we can graph, instead of having the y-intercept, we can graph starting at -2, 4. So let's take a look at what that is. So we've got -2, 4. And then slope of 3 means rise 3, run 1. So we're going to go up 3 and over 1. And then we can draw a line through our points. So that time, instead of starting at a y-intercept, we started at a point, and we still got our line. So the way point slope form looks is it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where x1 and y1 are your coordinates. And m is your slope. And other than that, it's pretty much just like slope-intercept form. So there we go, we got that. So your problems are gonna look like this. So it's gonna say, what is the equation for a line in slope-intercept form that passes through the point -1, -6, and has a slope of 1? So we've got what? Okay, so what is the equation of a line that goes through the point -1, -6, and has slope 1? So remember, our slope is our m, and our coordinates are our x1, y1. So we can write out our equation. I like to write it out each time. And then we can plug in what we know. So we have the m, we have the x1, we have the y1. So we've got y minus -6 goes in the y1 spot, equals m, which is 1, times x minus, and -1 goes in the x1 spot. And don't forget to put parentheses around numbers that you plug in. So minus a negative makes it positive. So we've got y plus 6 equals 1 times x plus 1. And we get to stop there because that's point slope form. Normally for slope-intercept form, you would have to solve for y afterwards, but for point slope, you get to stop right there. So let's take a look at the next one. So for the next one, it says to write it in slope-intercept form. That's not what the last one said, is it? Okay. So notice it says slope-intercept form and not point slope. So it passes through -4, 2, and has a slope of -1/2. So for this one, it's asking for slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, but we are missing our b. So we're going to use point-slope form to solve for it. So I've got my x1 and y1 in my m. So I can write out point-slope because I know I have a point and I have a slope. I don't have the intercept, so I can't use slope-intercept. So what was I going to write there? Don't remember. So let's put it into point-slope. We've got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We're going to plug in our numbers. So y minus 2 equals m, which is -1/2, times x minus -4. Then we need to simplify and solve for y. So this is point slope, but we need to put it into y equals mx plus b. And y equals mx plus b has y solved for. Okay, so we can change that minus a negative into a plus first. Then we can distribute our -1/2. So remember, we distribute first. So that gives us y minus 2 equals -1/2 x, and then -1/2 times 4 is -2. And now we just need to get y by itself. So there's a 2 being subtracted from y. So the opposite of subtracting 2 is to add 2 to both sides. And then we get y equals -1/2 x, and -2 plus 2 equals 0, and we don't have to put the 0. And that's slope-intercept form. Okay, let's do another one. So for this one, we're given 2 points only. So we have to write it into slope-intercept form. With only 2 points. So we've got 6, -2, and 3, 4. So we're going to go and use slope formula because we need our slope before we can even put it into point slope. We're not given a y-intercept. So remember, slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So here's our x1 and y1. Here's our x2, y2. And let's plug those in. So we got m equals 4 minus -2 over 3 minus 6. 4 minus -2 is 6, because it would become 4 plus 2. 3 minus 6 is -3. And 6 over -3 simplifies to -2. So now we have our slope, and we have a point, so we can put it into point slope first. So first we had to solve for slope. Step 2, we put it into point slope. So we've got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I always like to write out the equation first. Then we plug our stuff in. So we've got y minus -2 equals m, which is -2, times x minus 6. By the way, I could have used either point and I would still get the same answer, or I should still get the same answer. I'm going to change the minus and negative into a plus. So that gives me y plus 2 is -2 times x minus 6. Then I'm going to distribute my -2. So that gives me y plus 2, and I'm solving for y to put it into slope-intercept form, equals -2x plus 12, because it was -2 times -6. And then I have to subtract 2 from both sides. And that gives me y equals -2x plus 10. And that is slope-intercept form. So we put it into point slope, and then we solved for y. Okay, so when you're given 2 points, you solve for the slope, you put it into point slope, and then you solve for y. Okay, we'll do one more of those, and then we're done. So new page. Okay, so we're given 2 points again. What number is this? 5. So let's say we're given the slope, or no, we're given 2 points. So 4, 10, and -1, -5. So step 1, solve for the slope. So slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's label our x1 and y1s, and x2 and y2. And then let's plug them in. So we've got m equals -5 minus 10 over -1 minus 4. -5 minus 10 is -15. And that's over -1 minus 4 is -5. That simplifies to +3. So that's our m. And we have our point. So now let's put it into point slope. So our formula for point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So that's y minus y1 is 10 equals 3 is our slope times x minus 4, which is our x1. We don't have to change any minus negatives, so we're going to distribute our 3. That gives us y minus 10 equals 3x minus 12. And then we need to get y by itself, so we add 10 to both sides. And now you know how to use point slope form.